Time is money, we say. I don't have enough time. Time flies. Time drags.
The alarm screams at 6 a.m. for the 5th time this week. You heave yourself off the mattress and start the morning routine of wash, dress, coffee, commute. It might be a good day or a bad day at work. It no longer matters. It's all beginning to feel the same as the days merge together in one unrelenting monotonous continuum. The stark realization that the years have slipped through your very fingertips weighs heavy on your mind. Welcome to your life. Time, an abstract, continuous flow that perpetually moves forward, is our most valuable asset. Unlike money, we can't earn it back once it's spent. It's irreversible and irreplaceable. We're obsessed with time. The very word itself is the most commonly used noun in the English language, with the words year, day and week following shortly behind. Our very fascination with time shows how much we value it and how much we want to avoid wasting it. It's a concern that spans the centuries. Even Shakespeare's Richard II declares,
"I wasted time, and now doth time waste me."
But even Shakespeare was late to the party. 2,000 years ago, Seneca observed, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." Life is long enough, and a sufficiently generous amount has been given to us for the highest achievements if it were all well invested. To waste your time is to waste your life, but to master it is to master life, and to move in any direction of your choosing. The biggest payoff of all in achieving control of your life and your time is greater freedom to do whatever you enjoy the most. But at least time doesn't discriminate. Everyone on the planet has exactly 24 hours in a day, although we may spend it differently. Let's consider how we use those hours collectively and how much of it is wasted. The average person sleeps around 9 hours each day. Over an 80-year life, that's a total of 30 years. Is sleep wasted time? It's necessary for survival, so is not wasted. It is still not understood why sleep is required for human life. You can go longer without food than without sleep. The effects of sleep deprivation, even for just 24 hours, severely affects your cognitive ability as much as getting drunk. How then do we spend the other 15 hours left in a day? Of the 700,000 hours allocated to us in the average lifetime, we still spend around 90,000 of them working a job. For the rest of the time, we spend around 11 hours a day using social media, watch TV for 9 years with 90% of our time spent indoors. In a lifetime, we spend 3.6 years eating, walk about 110,000 miles, spend 14 days of our life kissing, 48 days of our life having sex, and 3 months of our life sitting in traffic. Think of time as a line. Which direction does it flow? Is it horizontal or vertical? Or perhaps it is not a line at all for you. The answers to these questions may very well depend on what language you speak. For example, English speakers describe time as being in front or behind them, or as a horizontal, like moving left to right. Mandarin speakers envision time as a vertical line, where down represents the future, while Greek people tend to view time in 3 dimensions, that is, big, or much rather than long. A city banker is on vacation in a small coastal village when he bumps into a local fisherman tying up his boat, criticizing the fisherman's lack of ambition and initiative, as he works only a few hours a day to make just enough to feed his family. The banker explains that by borrowing money and working longer hours for 20 or 30 years, the fisherman would be able to retire. Retire? Asks the fisherman. What would I do if I retired? And the banker responds, well, I plan to move to a small coastal village and fish for a few hours a day. If you could time travel to meet your future self, what aspects of your life would you want to know more about? Which ones would you prefer to be shrouded in secrecy? And if you pass up on the meeting, why? The most powerful questions would be ones that would help you make better choices today. What have you been most proud of and why? In what ways have you changed over time? What actions have you regretted? What's a time period you'd most want to repeat? What things should I be paying more attention to now? Which things should I stress about a little less? Imagine if you were to put these questions to your future self. It would probably be the most important conversation of your life. However, the truth is, you don't need to wait for time travel for answers that you can act on. By simply taking a bit of time to picture this meeting, you can make better choices now, closing the emotional gap between who you are today and who you'll be tomorrow. All you need is a little imagination and the willingness to put yourself in the shoes of a person you currently treat as a stranger. Time is one of the most mysterious forces in the universe, and if you understand the value of time, you can use it to its greatest effect. Time is the most valuable resource because you cannot take it back. So why does time matter so much? Time acts as both a teacher and a healer. Sometimes, the only way to get a new, healthy outlook on a situation is to give it time. Time teaches us the value of life, and a difficult or painful situation will seem less bad as time passes. Nobody knows how much time they have. People can die at any age, and for any reason. Every single thing in the universe is bound to time. Gradually, all things start aging and eventually decay as time progresses. We are aware of 3 stages of time: the past, the present, and the future, but the only time we actually have is the present. Time affects happiness. A person's perspective of time has a big impact on their happiness and peace of mind. Mastering our available time is essential. Managing it poorly or well has a huge impact on life. Skills development takes time. Whether that skill is what you love or what you think is best for your future, it depends on how much time you invest. Relationships are made or broken due to the amount of time you invest. This is often the main difference between a deep relationship, loyalty, and one that's shallow. Every human being is allocated exactly the same number of hours each day. The wealthy can't buy more hours, the scientists can't discover more minutes, and you can't save time to spend at a later date. But remember, no matter how much time you've wasted yesterday, you still have the whole of today. Life is too short to be unhappy, so don't squander it on regret, anger, worry, and resentment. The older we get, the faster time passes. More routine in life makes experiences less intensive. A fulfilled and varied life is also a long life. This is very important for many people, since feeling time pass also points to its ultimate end. So, what does a fulfilled life look like? Ultimately, the way we manage the dimensions of our past, present, and future proves decisive in this. One way of putting it is, we must accept the past as it is. What is past can no longer be changed, but one can learn from experience to better face the present and future. It is not by chance that personal unhappiness often derives from unwillingness to come to terms with the past, when we cannot let go. We also tend to worry too much about the future and develop exaggerated ideas about what could happen. Yet we are always living in and experiencing the present. Accordingly, our task is to cultivate presence. What belongs to the past and future always bears on the lived presence that we are experiencing now. Remember, it's never too late. You can choose to change or to remain the same. You can make the best of time or the worst of time, so choose to make the best of it. Do things you've not done before. Feel things you've not felt before. If you're not living life on your terms, then I hope you have the courage to start again.